What's going on, everyone? This is Vince from Life with Vince Luu, and this is a follow-up video to another video that I made a few days ago of how I grew 467 subscribers in 30 days as a small YouTuber. I'm gonna link part one up here somewhere, and after publishing that video, I just thought about so many other things that I could have said, that I should have said, that I should have included, but didn't get a chance to, plus the video was already 20 minutes, and just a short recap of that video. The three main things that I'm personally doing to grow my channel: daily videos, cross-promoting on Instagram and Facebook, and then engagement. I know this strategy works because I've had a few small YouTubers reach out to me personally to ask me how I've grown, and this was before I published that video. And one of those small YouTubers is my friend Sam. Sam reached out to me on Instagram, asked me how I've grown, what strategies I have been implementing, and I gave him everything that I had. And everything that I had was part one, the video that I just made. So I reached back out to Sam, asking him like, hey, could you do a few minute clip on the strategy, if it's worked for you, your experience, and any other thing that you may want to mention that has helped your channel grow. So I'm gonna hand it off to Sam now.
How's it going, everyone? So for the past week or so, I've been following Vince's advice about how to grow my YouTube channel. You know, it's been working out really well so far. I haven't been putting quite as much time in as Vince has. I think Vince said he's spending about 4 or 5 hours. Personally, I'm spending more like 2 or 3 hours, and that's every day just going through and commenting and subscribing on other small YouTubers' videos and just engaging with the community in that way. So to get specific, I'm gonna look at my analytics real quick. So in the last 28 days, I've gained 104 subscribers, which is awesome. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to me so far. You'll see right at the end here, that's the part where I started following Vince's advice, right there at those peaks. So if that's any indication of how well this works, you know, it's really worked for me. So one thing Vince suggested to me was uploading every single day, and personally that's a bit tough for my schedule, so I've been uploading like 2 or 3 times a week, and that plus like 2 or 3 hours of engagement every day, and I've been seeing pretty significant growth from that. It hasn't been the absolute fastest because I am not putting quite as much time into it, but the growth has been significant. I'm getting so many more comments on my videos now, which is much appreciated. That means I'm getting feedback on my content, that means I'm getting encouragement, and it means that I'm being able to build a community around my channel, which is really playing the long game in terms of YouTube. One thing I have seen a lot of is people posting videos where it's specifically about increasing engagement and encouraging people to support each other, and that's awesome, but it's not really a sustainable thing, I think, because I'm only subscribing to videos that I actually find interesting, which means that I can make genuine comments on their posts. So I'm subscribed to YouTubers who I actually enjoy their content and what they're saying is important to me, and I want to be subscribed to them. So that's the really important part. It does make the time commitment a little bit more difficult because I want to keep up with everyone and I want to see how they're doing and what they're uploading. But I'm subscribed to so many people at this point that's just a constant flow of more and more videos, and it's hard to keep up with. It just creates so much more of a positive vibe around YouTube. Before I started doing this, YouTube seemed like this sort of dark, lonely place where I had to like fight the algorithm. But now it's much more of a community, a much happier place to be for me personally. So if it's possible for you, definitely try this out. I think it is very worth it. Thank you so much for the advice, Vince. So over on my YouTube channel, I do vlogs and shoe reviews. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. I do a lot of running as well. I know you guys are probably subscribed to Vince for fitness, so if you're into running, I do some of that as well. So what I do is I buy a pair of shoes, do an unboxing video and all that, and then I wear them for their entire lifetime, and then I make a video at the end about my entire experience with the pair of shoes, so you guys can completely know what you're getting into when you're buying a pair of shoes, and how long they're gonna last you, how they're gonna wear in, what they're gonna look like after a couple months, a couple years even. So that's what I do. I think it's pretty cool. I really enjoy making them. So if you're into that, please go check out my channel. If you see me down in the comments of this video, leave me a response, say hi. I'm more than happy to start conversations with all of you. So thank you again, Vince. Thanks for including me on this, and I'll see you guys later.
I appreciate you, Sam, for putting that together and sharing with everyone your experience. If you want to follow Sam, I'm going to put a screenshot of his channel here, and then I'm going to link it in the description below as well. And just a couple key notes is that As Sam mentioned, he's putting in 2 to 3 hours per day engaging. I put in 4 to 5. Some days it's less, some days it's more. For him, I'm sure it's the same. But you have to do what works for your schedule. We're not saying put in the time that we're doing, because everyone is living their different life. They have different obligations. But I'm telling you, if you put in a solid 30 minutes to an hour, you'll definitely grow. The conversion rate, as I mentioned before, it's 1 hour of work for usually about 4 to 5 subscribers for that hour. And Sam reached out to me with that message on May 13th, which was 8 days ago. 8 days ago, he had 610 subscribers. And as of today of this recording, he has 674. So 64 subscribers in 8 days. I think that's pretty good. And I actually reached out to him 24 hours after, and he had this to say: 7 to 10 subscribers in less than 24 hours. So I think this strategy works. At least it's worked for me and Sam. All right, let's get into it. The things that I wasn't able to mention on that last video, part 1. So I want to show you my analytics first. So I did a custom from April 17th to May 20th. When I did the 30 days for that first video, I did April 17th to May 17th. So as you can see, even on Monday I had 16, Tuesday I had 15, and then yesterday I had 11. So still pretty steady growth. And I'm going to expand a little bit on engagement because there were definitely a ton of things that I missed. So with engagement, because I am subscribing to other people, supporting their channels, it really clogs up my own subscription. So what I've done is that I personally made a separate YouTube account to follow all the channels that tend to clog up my own subscription account. So for example, like Joe Rogan, MMA stuff. So those things, as far as like growing my YouTube channel, this YouTube channel, they don't really help me. I find enjoyment with them, but I've created 2 separate channels so that I can still like go and subscribe to them and support them and watch their stuff. But for this channel, I've really tried to square it down to the people like I'm supporting, or the channels that I can find people to support. So as you notice, I still follow Gary Vee because I find a lot of people on his channel in the comment section to support. So that is going to be the first thing. The second thing is actually with the engagement, there's you know, you can either do it on your computer or your phone, but I've found that with some aspects of engaging, it's better on your phone, and then some it's better on your computer. For example, comments. Some comments that, especially, I'm pulling up my comment section right now of comments that I haven't responded to, so you can go to your comment section on your studio and put the tag in I haven't responded. So I know that I need to respond to everyone in this comment section. Some need more like words than others. Like this one, like Nyanki, awesome. I can usually just reply thanks or awesome back, right? Or something really short. I can usually do that on my phone. Where it gets a little bit tricky is when like I just work faster personally on my laptop. So I want to make sure that if I am responding back to a comment that requires something a little bit longer, I tend to like to do it on my laptop. There also is a caveat though. With the phone, it benefits because 1, you can respond back to shorter comments, and 2, there's emojis. Sometimes you're just like, oh, I just want to throw the flex thing up, right? Like when someone says good job, awesome work, I'm like, thank you so much, emoji. But with the laptop, I don't have emojis, so it's like I make sure to kind of separate those comments. Sometimes when I'm on my phone, I'm just on a walk, sometimes even a run, I'll respond to those comments pretty quickly, but something a little bit longer, like Mark, he usually gives me something a little bit longer, so I want to respond back with something of sustenance, because I don't want to just say, hey, thanks for blah, 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 blah. If there's something that I want to share personally about me, or if he asks a question, like I haven't read this comment yet, so it says, I like how there's no water bladder, blah, 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 has your Fitbit on it acted up. So he's asked me a question, I want to give him an answer. Like if I answer on my phone, I can, 1, it takes longer, and then 2, it's like, yeah, it's been acting up, and like I kind of want to keep it short when I'm on my phone. So make sure to separate those comments. So find what works for you, whether you like to respond back on comments or respond back on the phone. And then also with that, with the engaging of other YouTube channels, it's way better to engage on your computer because you can right click and then pull up a bunch of tabs of people to follow, people to support. If you do that on your phone, it doesn't really work that well, and you have to go one by one. And then what if they're not a small YouTuber? Then you're kind of just wasting your time. You're kind of going back and forth. So it's funny because I have my sticky note here. So just in case I don't, or just so that I don't forget. All right, so the next tip that I have is responding with someone's name. I actually have a background in recruiting. I've been a recruiter for about 3 or so years, and I think it's just way more personal for me to respond back with your name. And sometimes the channel won't have their name, but a lot of times they'll introduce themselves, right? So like, hey, my name is blank. Thanks for coming to my channel, even though their channel name is something else, right? So for example, like the BS show, right? The BS show is my friend Steven and his friend, and we actually went to high school together. So shout out to you, Steven. He has an MMA channel, and by the looks of his name, I mean the BS show, you can't tell like his actual name, but I know his name's Steven. So whenever that he responds back or he makes a video or I hear his voice, I'll say, yo, this was a great blah, 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 Steven, right? Or let's say Corey. Corey said 17 miles is legit. I gotta get mine in a few as well. Nice work. I'm gonna respond back. Thanks, Corey. I appreciate the support. Go get your miles in, right? I use names, and I use names when I am engaging with my potential audience as well. It just means way more. And with that being said as well, engaging with your potential audience, it's not just small YouTubers, but it's also large channels too. And likely the large channel won't subscribe back, but I'm going to show you here. Simon Sinek, one of my favorite authors. This was his recent video. There is no going back to normal. Simon Sinek, and I love his videos. I love his books. So go check out his books too. Shout out to Simon Sinek. So moving on. So that was a little bit awkward because sometimes I okay, whatever. So I commented on his video, and I watched his video because I'm watching it. So anytime that I watch a video, I make sure to comment regardless of what it is. Like if I watch it for enjoyment, I'll comment something. Now I am very conscious of commenting. So I literally just commented, it's not the strong that survive, it's the adaptable. And look at how many likes I've gotten. 570 likes. That means 570 people clicked that blue little like button, or I think it's gray first, and then it turns blue, but 507 people liked my stuff. And I'm sure not all of them went to go check out my profile, but if they did, even if it's a 1% conversion rate, even if it's I don't know what the conversion rate is there, but if it's a small percentage, that's still another way that people can get to your channel. So I'll try my best to really comment something meaningful, even if it's a large channel or a small channel. And with that being said as well, so let's say with the whole commenting thing, when you're first, reaching out to them, following them, and commenting on their stuff to support them, you can comment on more than one video. I've actually seen way more success if you follow, if you comment on more than one video. And again, put it in there, keep up the hustle, keep the videos coming. Because that lets them know that you are a small YouTuber without saying sub for sub, hey, can you check out my channel? Like, no, I'm not gonna do that. But it lets them know, like, hey, I might want to click on his profile to check out his channel. Again, so moving on so I'm on my friend Dang's YouTube channel. So go follow Dang. He's a friend of mine, actually from San Diego. We went to college together, and we are in the same group of friends. He actually does footwear, fashion, fitness. Let's kick it. So I just literally read his banner. So super cool guy and good channel, especially for men's and shoes and just style. I'm definitely stealing my style from him. So with that, did that on accident. So I'm gonna click on his YouTube video. So with this, usually most people, not most, a lot of YouTube channels will have their Instagram in there as well. And I know Dang does too. So look, right there, check out my Instagram. So boom, now you can double follow them. So double follow them on 1, on YouTube, and 2 on Instagram. And like, that's just more likely that they're gonna see you, because now you're commenting on their YouTube channel, but also their Instagram. And you know, like when you're here anyways, like drop a comment on, you know, like I would say, you know, read the description and then comment something on these shoes, right? So that has helped me a lot. And I know that for me, this is actually a pretty new strategy, because I've had other people reach out to me via Instagram. So I'm like, yo, in the past like week, I've gotten like 30 or 40 Instagram followers, not 30, 40, like 25 to 30 Instagram followers, because I'm putting it on my description, but I also mention it on my videos as well. So you may want to mention that. And with that as well, with my own personal Instagram, I like to put like my YouTube channel on my profile, my profile, right? So as you can see, this is my Instagram. So I put in the link section of my channel, www.youtube.com/lifewithvincelu. And I forget what is it, like 100 or maybe 250 where you can make a channel name. Just put your channel name. Like I personally don't like to put the videos, like my most recent video, I just like to put my channel, because then it looks good, it looks clean. If you put your like most recent video, it's like a bunch of numbers like XYZ157,000 infinity sign, right? So I personally just like to put up my my channel name. With that as well, now you're double dipping, right? So if you want to grow other social media platforms like your Instagram, a great way to grow your Instagram as well. And with that, you know, leverage your Instagram. So if you have, like for me, I have 934 followers on my Instagram. So when I post it, I mean, granted, not all of them are going to see it, but you know, some of them might, and then they're going to go check out your YouTube. So again, the whole cross promoting on different platforms thing. And especially if you are recently starting your own YouTube channel and you have a small YouTube following, really leverage your Instagram, especially if you have a large following. Like you should be posting, you may not need to post like all the time on your feed, but on your story, it only lasts like 24 hours. So who cares? Like most people, like think about how you use your story. You're gonna click. Like you just go through it. And then if people keep seeing YouTube and banners, like usually I post my thumbnail in my story, and then like they're click, and they're like, oh well, like okay, now I've seen like the thumbnails, like his YouTube thumbnails on his story for like the past like 2 weeks. So I know he has a YouTube channel, and if I'm interested in it, and then that's why it's also important to have like those keywords in your thumbnail, because if they're interested in that one topic, then they can go click, and because now obviously they know you have a YouTube because you've been blasting it on Instagram, right? So for me, that's what I personally like to do, and it's really helped me kind of like even think about just growing my Instagram, because now that I'm focused on YouTube, I'm like, oh, YouTube. I'm like, oh, shoot, like I should probably focus a little bit on Instagram as well. All right, next thing, because I want to go past it, gonna go like fast, and I don't want to like keep rambling because I definitely ramble. All right, so the next thing would be to, if when you engage with someone, people buy into you. And I think that's why like my analytics have gone up, because people are starting to slowly get to know me. And even on my most recent video, my watch time is a lot longer, because if people buy into you and who you are, they're more likely to watch your videos. And in order for people to buy into you, what do? You got to buy into them first. You can be the first, like extend your hand. You don't need to. If you just keep putting up videos and keep putting up videos and you're not supporting other people, like why should they support you? You can take it upon yourself to support other people. And with that caveat is that I am genuinely interested in supporting other people. It probably will be a little bit hard if you're not genuinely interested in people or supporting them, and people can see through that. But for me, I am genuinely interested. So if you are generally interested in people, like buy into them and they're going to buy into you. For example, I pulled up here a comment, and I've only been following her for like a few days or like a week or so, but we don't really engage all that much. And I'm already following her. I don't need, like, I've already commented on before, but this is a follow-up comment because she posted something that I connected with. So she had a video on the meaning of Asian American. Look at this comment. Like, I'm sharing my experience. So in order for people to buy into you, share what you're comfortable sharing. You don't have to be like, oh, well, I grew up this and you know, like blah, 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 blah. You can say, oh yeah, my Fitbit, you know, you have trouble with your Fitbit. I've had the same experience. So you can keep it to whatever level that you're comfortable with, whatever level that you're comfortable sharing with, right? But for me, it was something on being Asian American. So you can probably read through this, and some of you might, so it's just to learn a little bit about me. But I am Chinese American. I really love my culture, and it's been super interesting just growing up in Asian American culture. I should probably leave this for another video because I can go on and on and on and on, and you can just read the comment if you want to get to know a little bit more about me. So now I'm gonna look at this. Woo, I'm feeling good. I am on a roll, and it's already 15 minutes. Holy crap. So I am going to X this out. And then also another thing is when you're engaging, to be even more engaging and for people to buy into you, 1, comment on more than one video. 2, ask a question. If you ask a question, they will have to engage with you. And if they don't engage with you, then they're probably not someone that you want to follow anyways. Though, like, the golden rule that every, like, YouTuber knows is in order to, like, for people to follow you and like your channel, you have to engage back. So if you ask a question, instead of just saying, like, a comment is good, like, hey, tell them about the video. But if you ask them a question like, oh, like, I recently just bought the Pegasus 37s, Nike shoes. What are your, I watched your video and I like how you said this, this, and this, but I mean, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about that? And then boom, you know, and then if you keep doing that video after video after video that they publish, they will more than likely click on your channel like, oh, okay, like Vince, you know, he's a super small YouTuber and I'm like super big, but he's been supporting me, so I'm gonna support him back. They have, and like some of the larger channels have supported me back, I think. So, woo! All right, so the next thing is the type of content that you are shooting. So for me, I do mine more of like a vlog style. It's like day to day, here's what I'm doing, but those views typically only last that day or within the next few days. And because it's a diary, it's a history book of what you did that day, like people aren't gonna come back to it as like repeatedly, right? Because they're gonna, if you have 365 daily vlogs, like why would they go back to that one day to see what you're doing on that one day, unless there was something in there that's valuable to them. But for me, that's what I've found. And actually one of my videos that I think the term is like searchability is if you create a video that is more like a tutorial of more like reviews, those get a lot of searches because they are super common. And like for me, I always like if something's broken in the house, or if I actually learned how to change out my car battery from a YouTube video, and that video has like hundreds of thousands of views because people, you know, that specific car and changing out the battery, because people search that often. So with that being said, one of my old videos, actually a lot of my jiu-jitsu videos, the one that I have on this screen right now, this one especially, this one has 4,000 views, right? So 4,000 views. Man, I think I exited out on the other one, but, oh, dang it. So this one has 4,000 views, and it's actually one of my most popular videos pretty much every single, like, month, right? So I'm gonna go down here. Look, top videos in the last 28 days. Look what this one is. It's BJJ White Belt Chronicles, because the searchability for this video, because it was things I wish I knew when I first started jiu-jitsu. So this one actually gets a lot of views. And as you can tell, like, look at the view duration. It's 5 minutes. It's 40.9% like retention rate. And look at this, like the next one is the journey to white belt to blue belt. And they just constantly give me views. So that's just something to think about if you're creating videos like more like vlog style, or you're creating videos that are like searchable. So that's something that I definitely need to include in my videos. Yeah, and then so we're gonna hop off the computer now. See you in a... All right, this video is already way too long, 25 minutes, even without this current clip right here. Like, holy smokes, did I just talk for 25 minutes straight? Well, I guess not, because Sam was in the video as well, but I have a few more things that I think that might prove to be helpful. So the first thing is going to be energy. As you can see, I have been pretty energetic at least the last 2 or so weeks, but before I was a little bit lower energy, but I found that it really helps with engagement and like inflections of the tones, just to have a little bit higher of energy. Like generally I am a pretty energetic and positive person, so it's not really that hard for me to kick it up one more notch. Though, in order for me to have a little bit more energy as well, I implement certain strategies. So, one, filming after my exercise and after my run. I like doing that just because my endorphins are like, boop, and I'm like, yeah, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then, so yeah. So, and then number 2, if I'm filming midday, like right now, I like to have my cup of coffee. And I know I drank this at like 3 or 3:30 or whatever it was, but I will sleep just fine. So, just in case you're wondering, but a cup of coffee before will usually give me that little kick of energy just in case I'm feeling a little bit groggy. And then also the big thing is really just finding your own style, finding your own cadence and your workflow, and in regards to everything YouTube. So if you like filming at a certain times of the day, or you like editing at a coffee shop, just find your style and what works for you. And the big thing for me, like, because I thought of this, was when I first started shooting, I really like it to be more vlog style and talking off script, and I just shoot better that way. I'll write keynotes down, but that's about it. I used to script everything out, but I found that I was really robotic, and people can definitely kind of see through that. So I try not to do that anymore, because that is my style. And with that as well, if you're not comfortable in front of the camera, you can shoot in increments, right? So like when I first started shooting, it was really hard to keep my energy like the whole entire clip. So I would shoot, 30 seconds to a minute, 30 seconds to a minute, and that just works for me. And I know it's only been like 65 days of putting out one video a day, and I'm always adjusting. It's always an adjustment. And so anything that I can do, I'll adjust, and then it's going to be an adjustment moving forward. And I definitely, in like 60 more days, it's going to be very different than it is today. I'm going to find out what works and what doesn't, but really just find what works for you. And then the next thing would be to, when you're looking at a channel and someone that you like, their channel, their content, their way of editing, like when you're intaking content, don't just intake content for the sake of intaking. Like, yes, it's all good to like enjoy that content, but see what they're doing. If they're editing style, if their thumbnail style, if their banner, or if their keywords or whatever it is, don't be afraid to copy other people, and don't be afraid to learn from other people, because if you just get stuck in your one way and it's not working for you, like, or it is working for you. Let's say it's working for you, but it could be better. So for me, I try to take that. Like for me, I know my thumbnails suck, but I need to better. I got Photoshop. I just need to go around and play with it. And then with that as well, leads to utilize your resources. What did Sam do? Sam reached out to me, even though we don't really know each other, but we know each other on YouTube, and we've been commenting. He comments on my videos, I comment on his videos, and vice versa. And it's whole thing. And even in like just a couple weeks, we've kind of built this like little bit of a bond. It's like, hey, I see you. Hey, what's up? Yeah, I see you on that YouTube grind. It's kind of that same thing. And then, but he reached out to me. He added me on Instagram. 2, he sent me that message. It was like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Like, what did you do? Like, don't be afraid to reach out to people to ask them, because I've found, and I am this way, that if you reach out to someone, they'll help you. And it doesn't matter if you're a small channel and they're a large channel. Like, it's just being a good human being. And you saw like the messages that I wrote to Sam. Like, it was more than that. Those are just the initial messages, but we've been exchanging messages back and forth. And I've really taken this to heart, because I've you know, for my work, I used to be a recruiter. You know, it was something that I learned was utilize your resources. Why are you trying to figure it out all out yourself? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. So if you notice something that you like about someone else, one, copy them. Two, if you don't know, then like reach out to them and ask them. Oh, and they might not even give you like a straight up answer. They might say, hey, actually I learned this from so-and-so's channel. So really just utilize your resources, or especially the people that you actually know in real life, that you went to high school with, that you went to college with. Like, I'm more than happy to help with anyone. Like, and this just relates back to fitness, because a lot of it is like, that's my outlet, and that's how I started. I literally put it out years ago, like 3 to 4, I guess it's not like that many years, I said too many years, but like 3 to 4 years ago, I put it out like, hey, if anyone needs some help, like I used to be a personal trainer at that point, like I'm a personal trainer, like I'll be more than happy to get you like fit, I'll let you know. And guess who got the results? Like the 4 to 5 people that actually listen to me, because I am more than happy to help you, especially if you know them in real life. They're likely, I don't want anything from you. And if anyone asks me a question, I'd be more than happy to help you to the best of my abilities. So yeah. So, and again, just on this note, this is all my personal journey. This is all what's worked for me. I definitely know there are things that suck about my YouTube channel. Like, I definitely don't optimize my channel the way I should. Like, my thumbnails are still terrible. My descriptions is still terrible. I'm not using tags very well. I should be pinning a comment. I should be putting the playlist at the end of the video. Like, this is all stuff I know, but all this stuff that I just talked about for the last like 30 minutes, it's what's worked for me. So let me know down in the comments below what you think about this video. Please give me feedback. I am more than open to feedback, and I want you to give me feedback because I want to be better. I want to be better for you, for me, and I am really just into personal growth. So thanks for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if it helped you out. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. See you all tomorrow.